I'm just trying to figure out where we need to start today, because I'm not sure if we need to just redo everything that I talked about last time, which is going to give you all double the work today, or if we need to, or what. Because I don't know what you guys have done. Okay, what did you, so did you look over the PowerPoint presentation or the slide presentation? Okay. Okay. So you did the review of the Trail of Tears. So, and, so Sean, what was the Trail of Tears? Because you were here for that class session. What was the Trail of Tears? It wasn't a trial. Yes, the Indians were relocated. You mean, oh, a trail. Trail, gotcha. Okay, yes, it was a trail that the Indians took to Oklahoma and Oklahoma to the Cherokee Indians from Georgia to Oklahoma, where the U.S. government relocated them, the Cherokee Indians. So what I wanted you to do last class period during the day that I was out on the video that I asked you to watch for class, which, I mean, class wasn't canceled, class was just not live. So the idea, and I'm going to share my screen with you. You're going to analyze artwork. Okay, so we're going to analyze two pieces of art. Okay, these are actually the same painting. They were just finished at two different times. They were updated at two different times. This one was created in 1861. This one was created in 1862. This was highlighting the westward expansion, because while the Trail of Tears was all about relocating the Cherokee Native Americans, it was also about the westward expansion. Okay, so there was a study done on this mural, and it was completed in early 1861 during the Civil War, and the final mural was completed in 1862 while the World War was still being fought. Okay, and the preliminary draft of the Emancipation Proclamation had been published. So there was a study on the two of these and the differences between the two. The Emancipation Proclamation was a document signed by Abraham Lincoln freeing the slaves. Okay, and so this one was completed before the freeing of the slaves. This one was completed after the freeing of the slaves. The idea here is that you are going to complete this document here and choose and list the differences between the two. Okay, so Bree, what were some of the differences that you noticed between the two? I know that I gave you one to begin with, but what were some of the other ones? Sean, I want you to take a look while she's looking at her sheet, and I want you to think about what's different in there, in between the two. Because this is visual analysis. We're always doing literature analysis. This is visual analysis. So it's just another way of learning how to look at something differently. So it's the same painting by the same author. It just was at different times in history. So Bree, what else is in there that you found that was different between the two? Okay, you said the setting. Okay. So let's see, let's go back. Actually, let me look. So I'm going to open up a better copy. So this is a better version of it. Higher resolution. So explain what you mean. Can you explain what you mean by that? No, I need specifics, guys. Not where you're talking about. I want specifics. I want like the example that I gave you in the video from last time. I said there's only white settlers in the first one, and the second one has inclusion of freedmen, like the freed slaves. So if you'll notice in the first one, you guys are making you're saying one has more detail, and other one has the light and the darkness. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about specifics. So this one only shows white men. This one shows white men. This one shows shows slaves, shows the freedmen. Freedmen, slavery, men of color. So you need to be specific in relation to history. You're analyzing artwork. You're being specific about what you're looking at. How do you mean, Bree? How do they not look that way in the second one? Okay, so they look like they've been traveling. Okay. But do they look like they've been traveling in both of them? So could that be the same in both of them? Okay, so that could actually be, you could put same on that one. So they both have they're both showing people traveling. Okay. What else? There is a lot more people in the second one. Yes. Sean, what do you see? Come on, Sean. Bree can't be the only one looking at this. What are you seeing, Sean? What else do you see? Look in the center. What do you see? What are you seeing? There are other things. Yes, we've already talked about that though, Sean. We've talked about that already. So what else are you seeing? There are more things to be seen. What can you see? What else is missing from what's in the first picture that's not in the second picture? Look, I mean, you can look right in the middle and see it. Keep looking. Keep looking. Here they are, side by side. Right in this area here. In this area here, what do you see different? What do you see that's different? Right here, right here, in this area here. What do you see that's different? Yeah, there's an American flag. There's an American flag. So there's a guy with a flag. So there is no American flag in this one. There's no American flag over here. And they have American flags in this one over here. Okay, it's up here, Sean. It's right up there. Yes, it is. So, okay, what else? What else is over here? There's something else over here that's over here that may not be over, that's not over here. What else? What else? What else do you see? It's right in here, right in here, and right in here. Here and here. What's the difference? Look at the difference between the two. Hi, Eli. Glad to see you here. Well, we've already talked about people. There's more people in this picture altogether. In this second picture, there's more people. We've already talked about that, but there's something different over here and over here. What are we seeing? What are you seeing? What's that? What is that right there? What is that? What's on the rock? Yes, yes. So what's not on it over here? A cross. So the cross is not over here because this cross over here represents a burial ground. It's not over here. Okay. So one side has the 1861 version, has a burial ground. The other one does not. Okay. So you talked about the painting being dark. So they're moving from light to dark. And that's in both paintings as well. So that's something you can put down. And then who are we not seeing in these pictures? What group of people are we not seeing in either one of these? Trail of Tears. Yes, Native Americans. Native Americans, absolutely. So we are not seeing them in either one of these. They are not highlighted in here at all. Okay. They're not in the carts. They're not in the wagons. Okay. So what's another thing that they both have in common that you can see? What's something that's maybe the same shape that you see in both of them? What's the same shape that you see in both of them? What do y'all think? Look at the shape that you see in the picture. What shape are we seeing in the center of the picture? Okay, so yeah, there's a mountain overlooking the horizon. So, but in the middle of the picture, what it kind of goes up to a peak, right? Like a peak like this, right? Which is considered what? Not a triangle, but what else could it be? What do they call them in Egypt?
Pyramids.
Pyramid, right. So they both have that pyramid composition to them. Okay, these are all things that you actually have to look for within this because they are actually kind of important. When you're analyzing imagery instead of literature, you're looking for things that each of them have in common and each of them have different. And you have to really look hard, okay? And saying that you can't find stuff is just a cop-out, okay? Yes, sometimes it takes you a while to look. That's why I wanted you guys to start on Wednesday when I was out and not wait till today. So now the idea is to go and look at these primary documents, okay? And this is where you're going to find the information that's going to relate to the historical context. So what you do is you're going to take information. So since my dot cam is the only camera that I have right now, I can't, it's hard to show you. So you're going to take this information that you read here, okay? The information that you read here, this is the historical context. This is the information that tells you about what's happening during the time period, okay? These are documents that tell you about what's going on and how things are going and things like that that relate to everything that we just talked about in regards to this and in regards to the things that were the same or different on this document, in this painting, okay? So everything that was the same or different on this painting, it's pretty much in this document somewhere, okay? The idea is that you are going to take that and you're going to explain using this document, this primary source, you're going to fill in how it relates to historical context, okay? And then you're going to give the quote if it's available. If there's a quote available, you're going to provide the quote. And are y'all with me now? Y'all with me here? Okay. Yes. Okay. So sometimes there may not be a quote. It may just be information that you get from the documents themselves. Okay. There may not be a direct quote. Okay. So you may just relate it to, you may just find it in the historical context, but this is, if you find quotes that relate to what you find in your historical context, this is what you're going to write down here. So how do each of your differences or each of the things that you found, how do they relate in historical context? Here's what I'm going to tell you. This whole thing here, everything here should be full. The historical context piece should be full. This right here, you'll probably have some pieces missing. You may not have that completely full. But this right here, you will have full if you do it correctly. Okay. All right. So then you will need to write because like I said, I didn't plan on doing all of this for you today because I thought maybe you would have something done, but so then you're going to have to write a pie paragraph template. Do y'all remember how to do your pie paragraph? Sean? You remember how to do the pie paragraph? That's not an answer. An answer would be yes or no. No, yes or no is an answer. Eli, do you remember how to do the pie paragraph? Eli? Okay, good deal. All right, so the pie paragraph, here you have your point. This is where you're making your statement. You're making purpose statement here. You must have your main idea in here. This is where you have also your tag. You can do a tag statement with a painting, okay? So you just need to have it as a painting instead of a book, okay? So information is the quote from the source that you're using. So it's the evidence that you're gathering to prove this. It has to go back up here and relate to this. You have to have evidence to prove your point. You can't just say something that you don't have evidence for. Your explanation is your own commentary, your own thoughts and ideas that tell me why this quote that you chose proves your thought up here, proves your thesis or your purpose, okay? And then you're going to have another explanation sentence here and explain it again. And you're going to have two, so you're going to have two explanation sentences as to why your quote proves that, and you're going to do it again. Here's another information, another quote with two more commentaries, a different quote and two more commentaries. Everything that you put on here has to relate back up here to your purpose statement here. If it does not, then you need to go back and redo it. You need to make sure that everything that you write down, you can go back up and say, hey, is this answering or giving proof to my purpose statement that I created above? Okay, that's how you do the pie paragraph. Okay, does that make sense to everybody? Okay, so then you're going to write your paragraph here using the information that you put in here. You're going to include transitions. You're going to include MLA format, not going to use the letter I, not going to use any of that stuff. You're going to indent properly. You're going to use proper grammar, everything. Okay, you're going to write like your juniors, like you're supposed to. Okay, like you should be writing in the spring of your junior year. Okay, so that's the second part that you're going to be working on. All right, so, and then, so has everybody got what they're supposed to be working on for that? Everyone good? Okay, so then, and I'm giving you a lot because we're behind. So these are things that you can ask if you are still struggling with the document analysis, with the analysis of the painting. You can go and you can ask yourself these questions that will help you. Okay. These will help you with some of the things that may help you answer the questions on this analysis, okay? If you're still struggling. These are not real, this is not an assignment. These are just questions that you can help ask yourself for the analysis, okay? And then, let's see. You're also supposed to do, okay, so these are actually today's assignments because these were last time's assignments. So, so here is today, your vocab for today, your grammar for today, and this is also a close reading assessment that you have for today. So these are all due on Tuesday. Okay. So yes, it's a lot of work, but you're behind because we had to go over this again today. Okay. So if you need help, I have office hours starting at 1 o'clock today. I'm also doing tutoring next week, starting on Tuesday. So from 1 to 3 in the afternoon. So take advantage. Take advantage. Okay. Does anyone, I got to let you go here in a minute. So does anyone have any questions before I let you go? No, no. All right. All right. I will see you all later. Y'all have a good weekend.